Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. Hey guys, in this session we are going to look at your volumes, snapshots and lifecycle manager. Now, when we talk about your volume, so EC2 instances supports two types of storage. One is your instance store volumes, and the other one is your elastic block store, which is also commonly known as your EBS. Now, instance store volumes are used for your temporary data, where the data is available as long as the instance is running. So, if your instance is in the running status, the data will be available if you are using instance store volumes, and if you stop or if you terminate the instance, the data will be lost. Whereas with your EBS volumes, the data this storage is used for persistent data, where the data is available even if you stop or terminate the instance. That is, the data can be made available or it will be persistent under your EBS storage. Now under your EBS, it supports your durable and it's your block level storage that you can attach to your instances. So an Amazon EBS volume is a durable block level storage device that you can attach to your instance, and you can attach multiple EBS volumes to a single instance. By default, when you're launching your instances, one single volume will be attached, but if you want to attach multiple volumes, it is possible. After you attach a volume to an instance, you can use it like any other physical hard drive. So you are basically mounting additional storage, additional volume to your instance, and you can treat them or you can start utilizing them like any other hard drive. Now EBS provides you 5 types of volume types. You have general purpose SSD, you have provisioned IOPS SSD. Now general purpose and provisioned IOPS are your solid state disks. Then you have throughput optimized HDD, cold HDD and magnetic. So these are the 5 types you get when we talk about your EBS volumes. This is one of your common interview question: what are the types of EBS volumes we have? Now the difference between them is in performance. So they differ in performance characteristics and also from your pricing. So it allows you to tailor your storage performance and cost to the needs of your applications. So let's look at an example for this. So here is my EC2 dashboard. So when you're launching your instances, on the fourth step of launching your instances, here you get the option of your storage. Now by default you get one drive, one volume. Now by default you get 8 GB storage capacity. If you want more, you can add more. Now one option is you can add the volumes here. If you want additional volumes, you can add here. You can also attach it once you're done launching your instances. Now this is your EBS storage by default. Now the EBS volume, the type of volume is decided by the AMI that you're selecting. So for example, if I start this again, so let's say if this is the AMI you're going to use, the root device type that you see here, so this says EBS, meaning this will my storage type will be EBS, and likewise you'll also see instance store volumes here, which indicates that the server will have instance store volumes. So let's launch an instance here. So I'm quickly launching an instance. Now once you're done launching your instances, the volumes will be available under your volumes section. So here elastic block store. So under this you should see a volume created. So this is the volume ID, what is your storage capacity, type, input output processing, snap ID, to which instance it is attached, all this information. Now you'll have 2 states here. One is your in use, the other you will see is your available. In use means it is attached to the instance, available means it is not attached to an instance, and it is ready to be attached to any instance. So to attach new volume to your instance, you'll have to create new volume. So to create your new volume, click on create volume. You can choose your type. So these are the 5 types you have under your EBS. We'll go with your general purpose. You can choose your storage capacity. So let's go with 8 GB, and then in which availability zone. Now this is important. Now if you want to attach this to your existing instance, you'll have to make sure that you're creating this in the availability zone where your instance is running. Now my instance is running in this US East 1C, so I'll select that. You also have the option of encrypting your data and then comes your tag. So if you want to create your key value pair for your volumes, you can do that, and then finally click on create volume, and this will create the volume for you. So here if I refresh my page, here you will see a new volume created, and you can see the status saying available, meaning this is not attached to any instance. So if you want to attach this, go to actions and click on attach volume. Now if you have created this volume in the same availability zone as your instance is running, when you click on these instances, you should see your instance. If you don't see this, then your volume is created in a different availability zone and your instance is running in different availability zone. Select it and click on attach, and your volume will be attached to your server. So here you can see, so this is OneDrive XVDA, this is another one which is SDF. So now two volumes has been attached to my instances. You can also log into your instances and you can do lsblk. You can run the command lsblk, which will show you the these two volumes, 8GB and 8GB storage capacity. And when you terminate your instances, only the volume that came along with the instance, only that will be deleted. The volume that you manually created will not be deleted, and you may end up paying cost. So please be careful when you're working with this. You'll be charged for the storage capacity. So that's about your volumes. Next we are going to look at your snapshots. Now snapshots are nothing but they are the backups of your EBS volumes. So an EBS snapshot is a point in time copy of your EBS volume. So if you want to back up your data in your EBS volumes, you take a snapshot, which is nothing but your point in time copy of your data. EBS snapshots are incremental copies of your data, so your backups happens in incremental manner. Only the changes that happens, only those data will be captured and not the entire data. Now this means that only unique blocks of EBS volume data that have changed since the last EBS snapshot are stored in the next EBS snapshot. Now charges for your snapshots are based on the amount of data stored. So you are charged for your snapshot and it is based on the amount of data you're going to store in your snapshots. Now you can share a snapshot across AWS accounts by modifying its access permissions. So you also have the option of sharing your snapshot, your backup data with other AWS accounts by modifying the permissions. So let's look at an example of how you can create your snapshots. To create your snapshots, you can go to this snapshot section. Now you can either create the snapshot from here or you can also do it directly from the volume. So let's say if you want to create a snapshot of this volume, you can go to actions and click on create snapshot, and you can give a name to this. So let's say we'll call this as custom snapshot. You have the option of giving your key value pairs and click on create snapshot, and this will create the snapshot for me. And now if I go to my snapshots section, and if you will see here my custom snapshot, it is in the pending status, meaning my data is being backed up, and this will show you for which volume this is the backup. So this is here 2EB2, and if I go to my snapshots, you will see 2EB2, what time it was done, who is the owner, all these things you will see, your progress, what is the capacity, all that information you should see here. Now this is one way. The other ways you can do it from here also. When you click on create snapshot, you can choose your volume, which volume you want to take the backup. So select your volume, give your description. So let's say custom, let's simply say backup. Your tags and click on create snapshot, and this option can also be utilized to create your snapshot. But again, this is simply your backup of your data. Now if you want to restore this, so let's say this volume whatever you had here got deleted, or if you want to restore your data, you can do that. You can select your snapshot, go to actions, and you can click on create volume. So basically you're creating new volume. You can select that which type, your storage capacity, all these things you can select, and simply click on create volume, and this will start creating a new volume for you. So if I go to my volumes section here, you should see this available from which snapshot it was created, and my new volume has been created. So this is how you can restore your data from your snapshots. Now if you want to share these snapshots, you can select your snapshot, go to permissions, and you have the option. So you can edit this, and you can either make it public, meaning you can share this with all the AWS accounts, or you can customize this. You can choose with which account you want to share this. So you can enter the account ID here, click on add permission, and your snapshot can then be utilized with other AWS accounts. That's about your snapshots. Now the next thing we have is your the last point we have under your snapshots is snapshots fully support EBS encryption, meaning you can encrypt your volume, you can also encrypt your snapshots. Now the last thing we have for this session is a lifecycle manager. Now lifecycle manager, also known as your data lifecycle manager or DLM, it helps you to schedule and manage the creation and deletion of your EBS snapshots. Now the previous section that we saw, which is your snapshots, we manually went and created this snapshot. Now if you want to automate that, you can make use of this lifecycle manager. So Amazon Data Lifecycle Manager for EBS Snapshot provides a simple automated way to backup data stored on EBS volumes. Now you can define backup and retention schedules for EBS snapshots by creating lifecycle policies based on tags. So you can define when you want to take the backup, how long you want to maintain those backups, all those options can be defined. Now with this feature, you no longer have to rely on custom scripts to create and manage your backup. So by using this feature, you don't have to write any manual scripts, you don't have to write any scripts in your servers to take a backup of your data. You can make use of this feature, which is a lifecycle manager, to take a backup of your EBS volumes. So let's look at an example for this. So under this, you will find your lifecycle manager. Now when you go to this option, you can create a policy. You can give a name, so let's say custom policy. Now you want to take a backup of your data or the complete server, you have both the options. Now you can go with tags. So let's say you have created a server. So for example, let me open up my EC2 instance again, sorry for this. So I have my instances, so let me just create a tag for this. I forgot to create a tag, so let me give a name to this. So let's say snapshot, any name, it's totally your choice. I've given my name. Now we'll go to lifecycle manager, create a policy, give a name. So let's say custom lifecycle, and then based on name, and the name is snapshot. So that's what I want to utilize, and you can add the tags for this, and here you can schedule, you can give a name to your schedule and when you want to run this policy. So every 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hours, maximum is every 1 day. Now you can also specify the time when you want to start, at what time you want to start. You can specify your retention type, that is how long you want to maintain or store this snapshots that you're going to create. So you can go based on count, you can also go based on your age. And then comes your tagging information, so you can specify your tags. Now you also have a feature known as your fast snapshot restore, which will help you to speed up the process of restoring your snapshots, but you'll have to pay extra money for this. Then you also have the option of cross region copy, that is copying your snapshots across regions. Now whatever, if you're not doing this, then your snapshot will be available in North Virginia, but if you want to copy that data across different regions, you can do that also, but you'll have to pay extra money for that. And then finally comes your role. Now since you are creating an automated process here, you need some kind of permission to do the task on your behalf. So you'll need to create a role for this. And then finally policy, you want to enable this or disable this policy. So by this option, what you can do is you can create the policy, but it will not be in effect if you are disabling it. So you can create it and then you can decide on when you want to activate it. So you can enable it at that point of time and you can start working with this. So this is what your snapshot lifecycle policy does. It helps you to automate the process of creating the snapshots from your EBS volumes. So that's what your lifecycle manager does. So that's all I have for this session. I'll see you in the next video.